Well, I didn't get to the Bondo today. I didn't take into account how much time this would take. I've been surprised at where the time is going and where all the hard work actually is. I was expecting the sanding to be the worst part, you know, the hardest, the longest, the most time consuming. It's actually the preparation for painting. The sanding doesn't take too long, and it hasn't so far been that difficult. The painting's not really that difficult. It's the putting up newspaper and you know, and taping up the windows and such that takes forever, and is actually a lot harder on my body, I find. Today I did the area right here, and I did the roof. Now, admittedly, I didn't quite do as good of a job with the spray can. For one thing, I don't know if it was a temperature difference. The spray acted a little different today. It seemed a lot thinner. And then what also happened is that when I initially started prepping, there wasn't that much wind out. And then suddenly the wind really picked up by the time I was ready to spray paint. And, well, you know, after going through I don't know how many hours it took me to actually tape up the car. And it was one of those days that, I just noticed. It was just one of those days where, oh yeah, I was going to double check to make sure I didn't get any paint on it. Okay, I did get a little paint there. Okay. Yeah, I did get some paint. Some of the newspaper wound up blowing up just a little bit as I was painting. It wasn't really that airtight, you know, not that tightly done. Anyway, the wind was picking up, but after doing all that work, I was determined to do it. But as a result, of course, it kind of, you know, they tell you don't do it. So I wound up with a little, well, actually quite a bit of streaking. But the car is covered, and that's kind of what's important. And this is the primer coat. I'll probably be a little fussier with the regular painting coat later, but since this did cover the car, I'm not worrying so much about the primer. Anyway, this on the trunk is actually just not lint, but the dust from the car that when I'm sanding is kind of coming onto it. But the trunk, today I also went over those areas that I had failed to do the other day, except it does seem I still managed to miss a little bit. This can drive you crazy. So yeah, there's a little bit of streaking there too of where I had redone it. Yeah, and there you can really see where the paint was. So, hi Casper, that's the neighbor's cat. I was exhausted, my back really hurts. So I didn't wind up getting to the front. I'm probably not going to get to the front until sometime next week. For one thing, my mom has to go to work this weekend. My mom has to go to work, and my back really hurts. It was very hard. The roof was very hard, and I have to admit, I am actually considering that, at least for the roof, of maybe actually doing the paint roller method. That's a lot more time consuming and more trouble, but it's very hard to be standing on a step ladder and spraying the car. It's just really, and I'm kind of going above, oh, I got some paint there too. I'm kind of going out of my, you know, reach, and, you know, and I just don't know if I can do really as good of a job on the car that way. So, yeah, and I did get a little paint on the windows, so I wonder how, oh, okay, yeah, it seems to scrape right off. Okay, oh, well, here I just did a take bath. Yeah, today was one of those days where, well, it is Thanksgiving today. Happy Thanksgiving, though it's not going to be Thanksgiving by the time I get this up. But, you know, it's just one of those days where everybody comes up to you while you're doing, you know, working. You know, I had 2 neighbors and the Jehovah's Witness, but a lot of people have taken a lot of interest in me doing the car too. You know, I guess, you know, there's a lot of people that do have messed up cars, and so, and apparently they've been pretty impressed with what I've been able to do. And I have to admit, despite the streaking and all that, you know, it still, I think, looks pretty good. Much better than what I thought you could get with a spray can. And it's definitely an improvement, and overall I am very excited. So, and is Selena excited? Yeah, she's excited. So, so that's what this week. It is so hard to get this, you know, the cleaner, get her really clean though with the you know, the spraying, or not the spraying, the, you know, when I'm washing her, it's very hard to get her clean. So, yeah, when I tape her up, I am gonna, at least with the windows, I guess I'm gonna have to tape all around. I had done that, I think, the other day, but today I was seeing if it was really that necessary, but because it seemed like, you know, if you put tape in certain areas, it does keep the paper flat, but the problem is if the air does go up, it can make it balloon up a bit and the spray will go in. So, I'll tell you one thing, I am so sick of looking at newspapers. I really hate the prepping part, and I swear sometimes if I look at another newspaper, I am going to vomit. So, all I'm going to do tomorrow, I'll remove the paint from the window that I accidentally got on. It looks like I can do that with a little bit of, just scrape it off just a little bit, I think. Maybe there's even another better way I can do it without possibly scratching up the window. And then I'm going to wash off my mom's windows before she goes to work, so I don't want her, because I don't want her vision to be obstructed in any way. My mom doesn't really have the best eyesight already. And then next week, we'll get to work on the hood. I plan to actually do the entire car so everything matches. And besides the fact that there are other parts on the car that, you know, are showing signs that they are going to eventually, you know, like right here, you know, that is eventually, it's peeling, it's going to eventually just maybe start rusting. So, you know, even though the sides don't look that bad, I'm just going to go ahead and do an entire job, you know. And that way everything will match. So, thank you for watching and stay tuned. I forgot to add something. I'm holding this up so that this looks strange. I think I gave myself a little bit of a sunburn too. You know, I wonder sometimes whether sunblock sometimes makes you worse about getting sun, you know, actually, you know, not taking care of your skin as much. You know, I go out there, I said, oh, I put on my sunblock, I'm probably okay. You probably have to keep reapplying it, but you know, you get busy and you know, who keeps up with all that? Anyway, with spray cans, when you get down to the bottom, there seems to be like this nail polish remover smell. When you start getting to that point, even though there seems to be a little bit left, they're not really spraying but well by that point, so it's just good to go on to another can. So I just wanted to mention that.